I have tested many different trading strategies 100 times on the Trading Rush channel. Some of them made a lot of money and gave very high win rates, and some of them lost. I even made a top 5 strategies that actually work video, but since then, we have tested more trading strategies 100 times, and some of them were way better than the strategies mentioned in the last video. So in this video we are going to see the top 5 trading strategies that actually work in 2021. Furthermore, the TR score is available for almost all strategies tested on the Trading Rush channel, because the strategy with the highest win rate is not always good for you. If you are new here, subscribe and ring that notification bell, and check out other videos on the Trading Rush channel, where we tested more indicators 100 times to find their win rates. After all, you don't want to put your hard-earned money on an indicator that doesn't work. If we visit the Trading Rush website and click on the TR score, you will find strategies that I have tested rated not just by win rate, but also by how easy to use it is, its reliability, consistent profits, and quality. Some of these categories is the Trading Rush score. Now last time when I did a video like this, I rated strategies by their win rate. That's not a problem after all, we are looking for strategies that win more than they lose. But some strategies like the Bollinger Bands we tested on this channel can be very difficult to trade with for a beginner trader, compared to something easier like the Super Trend Indicator. That's where the Trading Rush score comes into play. You can come to the Trading Rush website and find the best trading strategy, and has a high win rate that is so easy to use that even your dog can use it, is reliable, is consistent, and gives high quality trades. The top 6th trading strategy that got a good TR score is the Ichimoku Cloud Trading Strategy. When I tested the Ichimoku Cloud Strategy, it gave an approximate win rate of 53%. The win rate is not as high as some other strategies you are about to see next, but remember, 53% is actually a profitable win rate, because the strategy was tested with a 1.5 to 1 reward-risk ratio. And when you are making more money on winning trades and losing less on lost trades, anything higher than 50% is an excellent win rate. You can watch the Ichimoku Cloud video on the Trading Rush channel to learn more about the strategy, and to see the backtesting clip for proof. You can find the Ichimoku video on the Trading Rush website. Ichimoku Cloud Trading Strategy got a 6.8 out of 10 in the win rate category. But this indicator is a mess and can scare away new traders. Even though Ichimoku Cloud gives a lot of information about the price, stops you from taking trades in the range market, and shows where to set the stop loss, it is not beginner friendly as some other indicators. So it gets a 4 out of 10 in the easy to use category. For the reliability category, Ichimoku Cloud gets a 7.3 out of 10. Entry signals are good, but sometimes they are at the end of a move. When I tested the Ichimoku Cloud 100 times, the profit graph at the end looked like it was going up, and there were not sudden upward or downward spikes. So in the consistent profits category, it gets a 7 out of 10. Ichimoku Cloud tries to give entry signals in the direction of the trend, and when it gives a proper entry signal, price makes a good move in that entry direction. So it gets a 8 in the quality of trades category. So the TR score is 33.1 out of 50. On the 5th spot, it's the Shaft Trend Cycle. And as you can see, it got a lower score in the win rate category than the Ichimoku Cloud. The Shaft Trend Cycle gave an approximate win rate of 50% with a 1.5 to 1 reward-risk ratio. Ichimoku Cloud gave a 53% win rate, so there is not a big difference between 50 and 53. But the Shaft Trend Cycle is so easy to use that any beginner trader can understand it quickly. It looks like a RSI indicator, but is better. You can check out the Shaft Trend Cycle video on the Trading Rush channel to see the backtesting clip for proof, and to learn more about it in detail. Since it is easy to use in the easy to use category, it got a way better score than the Ichimoku Cloud. But in every other category it got a slightly lower score, because of the lower win rate and less consistent profit graph. The Shaft Trend Cycle got a TR score of 34.6 out of 50. On the 4th spot, it's the MACD combined with Stochastic Trading Strategy. but I'm not going to count this one as a best strategy, because even though it had a high win rate with a good reward-risk ratio, the high win rate was mostly because of the MACD indicator. Check out the MACD and Stochastic video to learn more, and instead of trading with this, trade with any other strategy I'm going to mention next. Now time for the top 3 indicators that are best overall. On the number 3, it's the no sure thing trading strategy. If you compare it with the Ichimoku cloud strategy, you can see that both of them got the same score in the win rate category. That's because no sure thing got a win rate similar to the Ichimoku cloud. The no sure thing looks like the MACD indicator, but while testing, I found out that the no sure thing entry signal is a bit late than the MACD signal. It is very easy to use and gets a 7.5 out of 10 in the easy to use category. Sometimes it gives entry signals near the end of a move, so it gets a 7.3 out of 10 in the reliability category. In the Trading Rush app, the profit graph was consistent but not as consistent as some strategies you are about to see next, so it gets a 6.5 out of 10. Since no sure thing is trying to show the end of the pullback in a trend, the quality of the trades are good and price makes a good move in the entry direction when the entry is right. So in the quality of the trades category, it gets a 8.3 out of 10. So the TR score is 36.4 out of 50. To see the proof and to know more about the no sure thing trading strategy, check out the no sure thing video on this channel. On the number 2, it's the Donchian Channels trading strategy. Donchian Channels is a strategy that I was not expecting to perform this good. It gave a win rate of approximately 58%, and is the second highest win rate we have seen on the Trading Rush channel. So it gets a 7.5 out of 10 in the win rate category. The Donchian Channel indicator looks simple at the first glance, but the strategy I mentioned in the Donchian Channel video can be a little tricky for a beginner because of the higher high and lower low rules. So it gets a 7 out of 10 in the easy to use category. If you don't know the Donchian Channel strategy and to see the backtesting proof, check out the Donchian Channel video on the Trading Rush channel. The strategy doesn't give a lot of false signals, so it gets a 8 out of 10 in the reliability category. When I tested this strategy 100 times, the profit graph in the Trading Rush app went almost straight up with no major spikes. So it gets a 7 out of 10 in the consistent profits category. In the Donchian Channel video, since I modified the Donchian Channel strategy to take trades in the direction of the long-term trend, many times price actually makes a good move in the entry direction when the entry is right. So in the quality of the trades category, it gets a 8.5 out of 10. Not any higher, because sometimes the stop loss according to the Donchian Channel strategy is way too big. So the TR score is 38 out of 50. On the number 1 place, subscribers of the Trading Rush channel probably guessed it already, it's the MACD trading strategy. MACD strategy had the highest win rate we have seen on this channel, which was more than 60%. It is easy to use, but it gets a 7 out of 10, because when MACD gives an entry signal, many times the price makes a big move while the entry candle is still running. So you have to know when to immediately take MACD entry signals and when to wait for the price to give a discount. MACD strategy has a 0 line and 200 moving average rule, which indirectly filters many false signals in the range markets. So it gets a 8 in the reliability category. If you don't know about the 0 line rule, or to see the backtesting proof and to learn more about the MACD strategy, check out other MACD videos on the Trading Rush channel. When I tested the MACD strategy 100 times, the profit graph was very consistent. And it gets a 7 out of 10 in the consistent profits category. MACD is one of the best trading strategies. We modified it to take trades in the direction of the long-term trend direction, and because it is a momentum indicator and tries to show the end of a pullback, in the quality of trades category, it gets a 9 out of 10. There is nothing better than taking trades at the end of the pullbacks of a long-term trend, so the TR score is 38.8 out of 50. And that's all. Visit the official Trading Rush website to see TR scores of other trading strategies. If you want me to test any other strategy 100 times, Subscribe and ring that notification bell. After all, you don't want to put your hard-earned money on an indicator that doesn't work. Maybe support the channel on Patreon and see in-depth trade analysis. Thanks a lot for watching.